Well, hello and welcome to California Gun Law. I'm your host, Don Hammond. Let's take a look at an important bill that's making its way through the federal legislature. It's called HR38, the Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. I'm a licensed California attorney and a shooting instructor. I regularly help teach the 16-hour class that's required to get a concealed carry license in California. On this program, we provide education on California's complicated web of gun laws so the responsible gun owners like you can better understand how to lawfully exercise their rights. California has a complicated web of firearms laws and regulations, and there are lots of traps for the unwary. We want to help you do it right so you won't need our criminal defense legal services. Today, I'll discuss an important issue of concealed carry reciprocity. This is important because law-abiding citizens face a complex amalgamation of requirements as they travel from state to state. If I've been vetted by my home state and I'm allowed to carry a gun there, it seems to make sense that I should be able to carry while I travel across state lines. But no, to remain legal, you have to look up the laws in each state to figure out if you can carry, if you have to store the gun, and how you would have to store the gun. Some states require a locked container, some require the gun be unloaded in that locked container, some states have other restrictions. HR 38, that's House Resolution 38, is known as the Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act, and it would solve this confusion by forcing states to respect each other's CCW licenses. This bill has 178 co-sponsors in the House of Representatives, including even one Democrat, Representative Jared Golden of Maine. The bill passed the House Judiciary Committee on March 25th by a vote of 18-9, so it should be headed to the House floor for a vote. On the floor of the House, it will need 218 votes. With 178 co-sponsors and support from the President, I would expect it to pass and move on to the Senate. In the Senate, it may face a bit more of a challenge, so we may see some amendments at that point. Or the bill may get incorporated into an omnibus bill toward the end of the year, which will make it easier to pass. There are a number of interesting and possibly confusing provisions in this bill, so let's take a look at the details. The new law would allow anyone who has a CCW license from their home state to carry a gun in any other state that allows concealed carry. Of course, every state should be allowing some form of concealed carry now, under the Supreme Court's Bruin case from 2022. And for people who live in constitutional carry states, that is, states where no license is required, they could then carry in any state using their state ID as their license to carry. But it is key in this bill that you have to have a license in your home state. So sorry, California, you can't go get an Arizona CCW license and then use that to carry in California. If you live in California, you'll have to get the California license, and then that will enable you to carry in other states. This bill also clarifies that a prosecutor would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are not authorized to carry in your home state. What a nightmare for prosecutors to try to figure out each state's separate rules like we have to now. And in a very rare move, this new law has an attorney's fees clause, which means a fee shifting clause. It says when a person successfully asserts this section as a defense in a criminal proceeding, the court shall award the prevailing defendant a reasonable attorney's fee. It doesn't say who has to pay that fee, so that's interesting. I've never seen an award for attorney's fees in a criminal case, so I'm not sure how that will work, and I'm not sure that that provision will survive the final edits of the bill. So keep your eyes peeled, we'll see how that goes. This new bill would also create a private right of action, allowing you to sue anyone who deprives you of a right, privilege, or immunity that is secured by the new law. And that includes a right to attorney's fees for such an action also. So say you sue the police department for arresting you when they shouldn't have because you have a CCW license from your home state, You get attorney's fees for that, which will encourage attorneys to take those cases, and it'll encourage the government to comply. Another provision of this new law would even make lawful concealed carriers exempt from the restrictions in Section 922, Subdivision Q. That's the federal law that prohibits carrying in a school zone. So if you're lawfully carrying with an out-of-state license, you could even carry in school zones under federal law. State laws may still apply for schools and school zones, so don't forget about California Penal Code Section 626.9. There's another bill in the federal legislature right now that would allow national constitutional carry and eliminate the need for CCW licenses altogether. That bill is called HR or House Resolution 645. It would supersede state laws that require CCW licenses and allow anyone who can lawfully possess a pistol to carry that pistol in most places that are open to the public. That bill seems to be trailing a bit behind HR38. It has not yet made its way through the Judiciary Committee, so it's not eligible to be heard on the full House floor yet. But we'll track that one also. I think it has a lower chance of passing, but either of these bills would be great for Californians who want to be able to carry their concealed guns throughout California and throughout the country when we travel. I'm Don Hammond at California Gun Law, and we'll catch you all next time. Stay informed, stay legal, stay safe.